Hello, welcome to my channel VibeCoding Like a Champ. My name is Paul Pinto and I'm your host. And today we're going to talk about the features, how we can propagate features over the applications. And I'm going to do it, show you how I do it. This is my YouTube channel. I hope that you like and subscribe our videos in order to help to promoting this my channel. And I post it usually to my LinkedIn profile, all the videos. And if you, as your company, you would like to know more about vibe coding and include vibe coding in your context engineering. I like the term vibe coding, but if you want to include that in your company, contact me. Or if you want to do some kind of MVPs or the code, rapid code for something, some kind of example or something, you can contact me through LinkedIn. I'm here to help you if I can. The first thing that I would like to do, I'm just going to refine a feature. This will take a while. I'm just going to start right now, and I'm going to show what I'm doing here. In my project, the Get Bigger, it's a fitness application. As you know, if you follow my other videos, I have a kind of a root folder that inside that I'm going to have several folders, and the folders will be the admin. That will be the administration of the application. There will be the API, there will be the minimal API, there will be giving all the information is connected to the database and giving all the, provide all the information to the admin and to the clients. And the clients will be clients for Android, the browser, desktop, and even iOS. And this will be done with Avalonia, that I can, with one code only, one code base, I can export to any of those platforms. That's why I'm using Avalonia. But here on the root folder is where I'm going to hold all my features, these main features. And then I will be able to tell, come on, go to the admin, bring this part to the admin, bring this part to the client, bring this part to the API. And for that, what I have it here is I created here a folder structure. And in this case, I'm working with the folder. One of my last features that I implemented was the workout reference data was this one, where there was the kind of reference data that is specific for the workouts, to bring it to the API to create the endpoints, create all the management of that, and bring it to the UI, to the admin to maintain, or at least to show that information. And now I have it, this is the core template. This is where we're going to create our workouts using the exercise that we already created in a previous video. And what we have it here is initially is a raw file. This raw file, you can use it AI to help you build it, this raw file, or you can create it by yourself. But this is the file this is the input file to create this separation between what we needed for the admin, for the clients, for the API, and so on. And this should be created by the user. That should be the input of the user. And imagine that you have your requirements engineers, if you have your team of product owners and the people that will define the product, business owners, and so on. And here what we're going to define what is going to be the features from the UI, from the high level point of view. And then what we're going to do here is, you can see, it's a description of the feature. Yes, you can use AI to build this, of course. You can use AI to build anything here, and the idea is to show that we can do it with AI, but in the end, we always have to read it. We need always to see that he's doing what we expect him to do. But this raw file, I call it raw file, and now he's creating everything here. I'm just going to show you what he's doing. He's creating all here, and we're going to see the output, the outcome of this. And then we're going to see that you're going to say what's going to be the entity, and I'm going to define it, what was going to be the entities for this feature, and how it's going to use, what is the purpose of these entities, how we're going to use this and that. And there will be a point that we're going to have some business rules, business intelligence, like kind of business rules. Here I say, for example, because this is high level, there are things that is going for the UI, there are things that goes for the API. For example, I say here the UI provides category based exercise suggestion. Of course, this is something that we as users, as a requirement, we say, well, we want to have this in the UI, we have this, we want to have this kind of limit business rules of validation and so on. And here we're going to have everything that we wanted in this case for our, it's basically our requirement, our product description for our feature. In this case, not product description, but this case kind of feature description. But this feature description is agnostic. It doesn't mean that it goes to the UI or to the backend API or to the clients. This is not done yet here. What we do after this, they see our validations, they see flow validations, there should be warm-up exercises, cool-down exercises after, and then the workouts, compatibilities, and there is a lot of things here bringing, like I said yesterday in my video about the dead spiral, to reduce as much as possible the number of tasks, the tasks to the minimum possible for the Claude. In this case, I'm using Claude, but for any AI to not hallucinate. As short as possible will be easy for them not to hallucinate. If you can start to bringing a huge context window, it will hallucinate as more and more and more. That's why when we implement between each task, we should clean up our context and start over. That is always like that. That's why I always like to see it what he's doing and not using this system that we just assign in a GitHub, assign to the AI and let him do it, everything. I don't like that much that idea. It doesn't mean that in the future this is not going to be good. It's just that I don't think that we are there yet to do that. Nevertheless, continuing, this is, like I said, our raw file. And now what we're going to do is just continue to do the creation of the division of this for every project. And we'll see this in a second. Let me just make a pause and wait until this is finished. And we are back, and now we already created everything. Let's take a look at what he created for us. And he created here on the admin, this will be our Blazor component. He'll create some kind of component base, what we would like to have. We'll have the workout list and search bar, some panels, grid, and the editor, and all these other things that we want to have it. We're going to have the workflows, how this should look like for the UI, or the workflows to create our workouts, how we're going to edit the exercises. There will be automatic suggestion, there will be addressing periods, and so on. For the API, we're going to create how we're going to look like the endpoints and some JSON. Right now, in this point, I would like just to say that I try not to be too much technology dependent. On this level, we should create everything is not dependent on the technology, because the technology of the API today is done with a minimal API in C#. Tomorrow can be done with Python and any technology of Python or Go or Rust or any other technology. But in the end, we just should have some kind of endpoints, and those endpoints should return some kind of JSON. And this is how we would like to do it. Even if you change for in future for gRPC, this should be more or less the structure of our exchange, our responses and our requests. Here will be the models. Again, it's not dependent on the database, can be any kind of database, but the JSON description of the tables or the entities itself going to be more or less like this. And this is what is already created. And he created already something very interesting, will be unit tests. And here already created unit tests in a Gherkin point of view, in the given when then structure, and then we can just not copy but adapt those tests to our infrastructure integration test infrastructure that I showed you in the last video, where I already moving all the integration tests to this Gherkin language in the spec flow and so on. Here we can, with this, we're going to be able to copy or adapt these tests to the final structure, and they should work as expected. This is how, for example, a product owner should provide this information to the team This is what we're going to do here. This script here is creating these tasks for the team, and now the team should create this high level task now for each one of the teams, and then now the teams will will break down in smaller tasks and more technical, not on this level but more technical. And this is, and the last will be this readme file will be creating a little bit more this kind of high level feature that we want to create, that as soon as it's done, of course this is a high level feature that will be finished with the admin, with the API. The tests are running according with this. This is more or less what this API, here you see the workouts and so on, and we're gonna have it everything here. Okay, what I would like to achieve from here is having all the process between creating the feature, high level feature, to creating the detailed feature, then from that create even over detailed feature for each one of the projects, in this case the API, minimal API of the backend and the front end, and then on each project we're going to create the same way that we already created. You already saw it, to do that. And to create this to propagate to the, for example, to the API, I have it already here to a slash command, a command in my code that I can say, let's propagate the, let me just put the right name, otherwise I'll make mistake. I just have to say this is the core. Let's propagate this feature. Now I'm going to do to the API, and I could do the same to the admin. And with this, it's just going now to propagate and create me the feature on the side, on the side of the API, and I want to be able to implement that. And with that, we're going to see a little bit the next video how all this is now the glue of everything, since the feature to the code itself in the end. Okay, see you for the next video.